My dear viewers, hello and welcome to a new episode of our program Culture Magazine, during which we're going to bring you the latest cultural events that are taking place in Egypt. Please stay tuned.
Minister of Culture Dr. Ines Abdedaim and the Governor of Qina Ashraf al-Dawdi recently launched the activities of the Confrontation and Roaming Theatre in Qina. Qina comes as the sixth governorate in the plan of the Ministry of Culture, targeting 14 governorates until June 2021, in cooperation with the Ministries of Interior, Youth and Sports, Social Solidarity, and a number of concerned bodies and civil society institutions.
البداية كانت حلوة، مع الوقت تحول الحقيقة.
In the same context, the Qina children witnessed a theatrical performance in the presence of Khalid Galal, the head of the cultural production sector, together with various government and cultural ministry officials. The minister said that the Confrontation and Roaming Theatre aims to spread awareness and enlightenment throughout Egypt, achieving tolerance, promoting human behavior, developing thoughts, and tackling contemporary issues. She indicated that the theatrical performance will roam around a number of villages and centers in Qina Governorate. In addition to the central security camps, to implement the principle of cultural justice by delivering the creative product to the various villages and needy areas. She added that the ministry is currently working to expand its activities in the villages and governorates, confirming that 150 theatrical shows are currently being presented for the next 4 months in 14 governorates, and 50 shows are completed in 6 governorates. As for the next stage, it includes 8 governorates, namely Mars Matruh, Minya, Beni Suef, Red Sea, Ras Gharib, Halayib, Shalatin, Fayoum, Sohag, Luxor, and Ismailia. She indicated that the ministry aims to present more than 600 theatrical performances by the end of this year. On the one hand, the governor of Qina praised the cultural and artistic activities provided by the ministry in the villages of the governorate, which carry positive messages aimed at developing society and contributing to achieving sustainable development goals. The Minister of Culture and the Governor also inaugurated the exhibition of plastic arts of girls in Qina, which includes 60 portraits of Arabic calligraphy in addition to handicraft works. It is worthy of note that the show, The Sons of the Country, deals with the issues of illegal immigration and the heroism of the army and police on the borderlines. Within the Opera House celebrations of the month of March, the Month of Women, the Cairo Opera House, headed by Dr. Magdi Sabir, holds an orchestra concert, and for the first time, a creative young lady, Maestro Rosella Samir, leads the gala ceremony that was held at the Alexandria Opera Theatre. The opera was performed by the Cairo Opera Company under the supervision of its artistic director, Egyptian international soprano Iman Mustafa, accompanied by the pianist Greg Martin, in association with the Cairo Opera Ballet Troupe, choreographed by Mohammed Hamid. The ceremony came amid a large turnout as the number of attendees was completed in the hall of the Said Darwish Theater according to the permissible capacity with the application of strict precautionary measures. The performance was a dazzling picture drawn by the opera troupe singers with ballet performers.
Long ago I should have seen.
Female maestro, young Egyptian Rosella Samir, succeeded in proving that Egyptian women possess unique creative abilities in various fields and competencies that qualify them to rise to the top of art, culture, and creativity. Rosella led the orchestra brilliantly and was distinguished clearly by her gesture with the musicians to penetrate for the first time the field by professionally leading an orchestra and accomplished a new achievement for Egyptian women. The Cairo Opera Troupe also starred in the performance of the artistic program that the audience interacted with, which was divided into two parts. The show included many performances such as that of Julie Faizi, Go Away, From Hercules to Alan, Ibrahim Nagi's Whole New World of Aladdin, and many others. As for the second part, it varied between ariette as well as some other international opera songs. Within the activities of Port Said as the capital of Egyptian culture 2021, launched by Minister of Culture Dr. Ines Abdeldaim, the Rida Folk Dance Troupe affiliated to the Art House for Folklore and Performing Arts, headed by artist Adil Abdo, performed 3 nights at the Cultural Center in Port Said. The last show was attended by Major General Adil Ghadban, Governor of Port Said, who praised the performance, elaborating that it portrays the distinctive character of Egyptian society. The show achieved great public turnout, and the troupe presented a group of its famous shows that were inspired by the cultural and social heritage in our society. In another development, the Minister of Culture launched an agenda for the activities of the festivity of Port Said, the Egyptian capital of culture 2021, which includes presenting a cultural and intellectual program that includes more than 100 activities with the participation of all sectors of the ministry.
Egypt is always keen on honoring its stars and icons in the fields of cinema, art, writing, and culture.
أنا كملكة مسيحية بعد تجربة سنة هنا في الشرق أفضل أن تكون أورشليم في يد ملك عادل مهما تكن ديانته.
لازم تعرف إنك بتتعالج من إدمان المورفين بعد موت مراتك وابنك. الظاهر انك بتحن للطفولة.
حضرتك تعرف؟
وهل يخفى القمر؟
Renowned actress Laila Tahir was honored by the Center of Creativity in the Cairo Opera House. A number of stars attended the ceremony, Among them was Samiha Ayoub, Samir Abdelaziz, Raja Hussein, and Muhammad Abu Dawood.
ما تقدرش ترجع العسكرية تاني؟
اقدر اقدم في البوليس.
النبي احسن، قسمك مش قسم صيادين.
ايوه بس الظروف بتحكم. انا ما اقدرش افارق البلد الا لما اعرف ابويا راح فين.
The ceremony was held during the activities of Madiha Hamdi Salon in the Opera House. Laila Toher was born as Shirwet Mustafa Ibrahim in Shubra. She graduated from the Higher Institute for Social Services.
أملي وحبي الأكبر اللي هو المسرح بدأ يتحقق لما عملوا فرق التلفزيون المسرحية.
حضر شنطتي عشان السفر، خفت حد حل يوضبها لي يعمل لي لخبطة جنبي.
ايوه
أي حاسب اسمك إيه؟
حاسب اسمك ايه؟
Beautiful as she is, she started with leading roles when film producer Ramses Naguib gave her the first chance, and in 1960, when TV started in Egypt, Laila acted in a big number of series like عادات وتقاليد, الليل والبراري, and عائلة شلش.
كفايه كده لحسن ازهق واروح.
طب ممكن تيجي كده شوية؟
لا تعالي انت كده. بقول لك ايه؟ بقول لك ايه، مش معقول اللي بيحصل ده. انا هفضل طول النهار بالشكل ده.
خلاص انت حر.
Laila Toher also participated in many famous Egyptian movies like Salah ad-Din in 1963, My Beloved in 1960, and Al Ghaybuba in 1988. She also participated in Uridu Hallan in 1975.
ايه اللي خلاك تسيب شغلك وتروح على باب الجامعة سميحة؟
دي مجرد صدفه. لقيت نفسي جنب الجامعه، قلت افوت عليها واجيبها معايا.
انت فاكرني عبيطة ولا غبية؟ انت بتحب سميحة يا حبيبي.
Laila Toher married several times. Among her ex-husbands is the Egyptian actor Youssef Shaaban, the composer Khalid El Amir, and the director Hussein Fawzi. She has one son of her first marriage, who is a university professor.
المسيحية بعد تجربة سنة هنا في الشرق أفضل أن تكون أورشليم في يد ملك عادل مهما تكن ديانته.
لازم تعرف إنك بتتعالج من إدمان المورفين بعد موت مراتك وابنك.
الظاهر إنك بتحن للطفولة. حضرتك تعرف؟
وهل يخفى القمر؟
The Cairo Opera House plays a significant role in the cultural movement that is taking place in Egypt. Please stay tuned.
The Cairo Opera House, situated in Zamalek. The Cairo Opera House has served as Cairo's main performing arts venue, hosting various events from renowned international performances to daily shows by some of our local favorites. Designed and extremely well kept, the grounds of the Opera House occupy a significantly sized sprawling space, including pristine lawns and gardens, as well as 7 theaters. The main hall is designated to seat over 1,200 people on 4 different levels. The Opera Museum is located on the first floor of the main hall and is usually open before and during performances. One wing is completely devoted to documents relating the history of the Royal Cairo Opera House, which was built in 1869. during the Khedive Ismail's reign by Italian architect Avoscani and Rossi. On display are rare photos of the building, including some of the night the Royal Cairo House burned down in 1971, photos of several of the most important artistic performances, and a number of brochures of the concerts given at the Royal Opera House. Unfortunately, nothing else could be rescued from the fire except for 2 statues by artist Mohammed Hassan and a small model of the opera. The swing also exhibits costumes, jewelry, and musical scores of the opera Aida. Some historic documents written in Italian about the artistic performances of the Royal Cairo Opera House from 1869 until 1907 are shown as well. The other wing is dedicated to the new Cairo Opera House, which was inaugurated in 1988. There are several posters of the most important artistic performances of all the opera theaters, the main hall, small hall, and the open-air theater, and brochures of the renowned international artistic companies that performed in Egypt. Visitors can also admire a huge ney, oriental flute, about 10 centimeters wide and more than 2 meters long. It is made of ornamented wood. Another rare piece is a piano with additional keys on its keyboard, allowing for oriental tunes to be played. There are costumes given to the new Cairo Opera House by the Vienna State Opera and a model of the new Opera House buildings and photos while it was under construction. Not only is a visit to the Opera House worth your time when you are in the mood for a classy night out, but the grounds also provide a relaxing refuge from the chaos of the city thanks to its free entrance and many benches.
We are still with you, and we are still with our segments in the Cultural Magazine, so stay tuned.
Dr. Ines Abdeldaim, Minister of Culture, witnessed a ceremony organized by the Egyptian Opera House and headed by Dr. Magdi Sabir for students of piano classes at the Talent Development Center under the supervision of artist Abdel Wahab al-Sayed. Abdel said that holding artistic shows for promising talents sharpens the capabilities of future stars and comes to support and encourage them, adding that adopting and caring for talented people is one of the bases of Egyptian culture work to create a new generation that carries the banner of serious arts, and stressed keenness to continue implementing the various cultural and artistic programs aimed at creating creative people and the creation of enlightened personalities that contribute to building the nation. She also praised the distinguished level shown by the students of the Talent Development Center in the opera and urged them to make more efforts to complete the path of creativity. Well, through teaching to my students from the Talent Development Center, I always advise them to be patient while learning piano, because it's not an easy instrument. It needs a lot of time, practice, and patience. And what's more important is the daily practice. We start with the beginners from 30 to 45 minutes, and the more they get older, the more hours of practice are achieved. And the more practice, the more harder the fingers become, as we always start with the roots and the basics, which include studying some books of how to read musical notes and learning the fingers technique, accompanied by some musical pieces which they like, but in the frame of piano criteria. And for the advanced students, they mostly play classical pieces, and of course, if any player started with practicing classical notes, in the future he will be able to play any musical piece. They first practice the right hand, then the left hand, then both hands. That's what takes time, but as soon as they learn the technique, they would be unstoppable. And I also advise them to listen daily to a lot of different pieces as part of the practice, so they get used to the tonation. A lot of listening and playing is a must, so within 1 year, they will be able to play more than one musical piece. I'm playing the piano for 4 years now at the Talent Department Center in the Cairo Opera House with Dr. Iman Shaker, who made me love this instrument, as she always encouraged me to practice and study more and more and to be patient with the repetitive practice. I mostly practice an hour and a half, sometimes daily, and I must say for people who want to learn piano that there is no conditions for a piano player except that he must love this instrument. And for me, this is my 3rd concert with the center, and I wish to complete studying in this path. I've been practicing and playing piano for a year now with the encouragement of my parents and Dr. Iman, which made me reach this point. I practice 1 hour daily, and this is the concert number 6 for me in the Cairo Opera House. I basically play Western music and I play Oriental music mostly for myself. There's some songs that touches me like أغدا ألقاك by Kulthum, أهواك by Abdul Halim, and يا واد يا تقيل by Suad Hosni. And what I basically play is Chopin, Beethoven, and Diabelli. For me, when I look at the success journey of the icon Omar Khayrat, the answer would be the devotion for the piano and daily hours of practice, and I wish to maintain on the same track.
في البيانو طبعا مع بقى التدريب المدرس، يعني هو يشتغل مع المدرس والمدرس يقول له يعمل ايه وهو بقى يشتغل مع نفسه لوحده في البيت.
يعني نهدى كده ونسمي بالله.
I want to start my words by thanking Dr. Iman Sheker for her efforts of teaching and supporting us. I practice 2 hours daily, and I love the piano so much and I wish to keep studying it. I also love to play classic musical pieces, and at last, I want to say to anyone who wants to learn piano is to be dedicated to this instrument.
بيانو عشان انت تحس انك كده لوحدك كده انت بس بيانو.
The Minister of Culture was also keen to welcome the international pianist Ramzi Yassa as one of the ambassadors of Egypt's soft power abroad, prior to his participation in the Cairo Symphony Orchestra, which was held on the grand stage led by Maestro Ahmad Al-Saidi to celebrate Polish music and to commemorate the departure of the international Polish musician Krzysztof Bendrycki. In the world of musical instruments, the piano is king. No instrument, with maybe the exception of the human voice, has had more impact on the Western music than the piano. If the time is invested in playing, the joy from producing beautiful harmonies and melodies is one of the best things ever. Shourouk Bakir, Culture Magazine.
Well, with this, my dear viewers, we come to the end of this episode of our program Culture Magazine. I hope you enjoy being with me. Please wait for me in the next episode. Until then, it's goodbye.